All right, so, sorry, I'm trying to make sure you guys can see. So, sorry, I'm also notorious to keeping the fridge open and water running. But we are going to make sourdough pizza crust. It's super easy. I use the Farmhouse on Boone recipe. I fed my starter last night, woke up this morning, made the dough. You let it sit for 8 hours. Again, I use a shower cap as my cover because it's much easier and I literally can't stand saran wrap. So I am going to shape the dough. This recipe is for 2 pizza crusts. Super yummy, super easy. We try to do homemade pizza once a week. It is our oldest favorite. Give me 1 second. I forgot to get parchment paper. So I'll be right back. All right, so, sorry, I'm trying to make sure you guys can see. So, sorry, I'm also notorious to keeping the fridge open and water running. But we are going to make sourdough pizza crust. It's super easy. I use the Farmhouse on Boone recipe. I fed my starter last night, woke up this morning, made the dough. You let it sit for 8 hours. Again, I use a shower cap as my cover because it's much easier and I literally can't stand saran wrap. So I am going to shape the dough. This recipe is for 2 pizza crusts. Super yummy, super easy. We try to do homemade pizza once a week. It is our oldest favorite. Give me 1 second. I forgot to get parchment paper. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have parchment paper. I use unbleached parchment paper. Obviously, it's less toxic. So I'm just gonna grab one. I have a pizza stone. This one is from Pampered Chef. I do have one that you preheat in the oven right now. This one, for some reason, they advise you not to preheat it. So I just follow the directions. Super easy to shape. I have been making this forever now, so it's easier to shape the more you do it. I can actually make a circle now, where before it was whatever shape came out. So I'm gonna shape this real quick. I have already grated my cheese to try to make this video go a little quicker. But yeah, sourdough pizza crust, I think tastes better. My husband thinks it's better. He thinks the other pizza crust recipe that I used to use using the yeast and double O flour, I think it's called, from the store, it reheats better. But again, with sourdough, it's easier on the digestive system because it is fermented. It sits on my counter for 8 hours. So there is 0 yeast. I use all organic flour in it. I use mine with organic bread flour. I just think bread flour is better. I think it rises better. And it just gives better product than all-purpose. I think the recipe actually calls for all-purpose, but to each their own. If you don't have a sourdough starter, and you don't really want to take the time to make it because it can take several weeks for it to become mature enough, I do sell a dehydrated starter, and I send you home with instructions. You have access to my phone number, website, email, all that stuff that you can call, text with any questions. because I know sourdough can be very overwhelming, and in the dehydrated state, it can literally stay in your pantry forever until you're ready to reactivate it. In order to reactivate it, I do advise that you have like a week or two where you are not traveling and then where you can be home to feed it. But that's like a whole nother video. So I'm going to shape this other dough and then wash my hands and then get my sauce ready and everything, and I will be right back so we can keep moving forward. Okay, so I got both pizza doughs here created. I have a circle one. I also do a square one because the stone that is in the oven is actually a square pizza or a rectangle, whatever. So I actually don't have any sauce made. I always do homemade pizza sauce, so you guys get to do that with me. Also, if you hear my kids or Blippi in the background, they're here with me. So, funny story, I used to make my pizza sauce with tomato sauce and tomato paste. One day I was talking to my brother. I'm like, crap, I have no sauce. I only have tomato paste. And he's like, tomato paste is just watered down sauce. And I'm like, oh, well, saves me money also because I don't have to buy both. So now I just use jarred organic pizza sauce and some water, and it's literally the same thing. So I always make a bunch so I don't have to. Hey Lucas, can you get down please? Sorry, my kids are jumping on the couch. They're always so quiet until I need to do something. So once that, I should have got a spoon. Then I just add a little bit of water to the consistency that I want or that you like. So I stir that down. And literally you can't taste the difference. Like there's, I don't know. I think it was pointless and a waste of money to buy both. So, as you can see, it's still kind of thick. I don't know if you can see that. If you like it runnier, so be it. So, I put a little bit of salt and pepper. I don't measure anything. Everything is to taste. Nora, the recipe calls for Italian seasoning. I have none, so I'm just winging this. This is oregano, and I measure with love. I do some garlic powder. So it does call for garlic salt, and I have been trying to thin out my spice cabinet and reading ingredients because I didn't have all organic ingredients, and as all of you probably have noticed, everything is expensive these days, and I didn't want to just throw things away if it still was a single ingredient but not organic. So I've been using things. Well, I haven't made pizza sauce in a while because I didn't need it, and I normally used just this garlic salt. It's not organic or anything, and I had picked it up to look at the ingredients, and it says modified cornstarch and sugar and natural flavor. If you haven't done any research about natural flavor, I'm not going into it. Do it yourself. For me, I try to avoid that. But again, to each their own. Not getting into that discussion. So this is, it says honey. It's not. This is dried basil from our garden. So I'm gonna use a little bit of that. Hey boys, gotta keep it down a little, okay? And then I'm using onion powder. And again, the glass little jars here is from our garden that I've dried out. And I just used the last bit of parsley. This is rosemary, which I'm out of that. Apparently I need to go harvest, or I've already used all that. All right, so let's stir this, see if we need to add anything. So, I need just a little bit of water again. I don't like mine too thin, but I always add water a little at a time because you can always add more. You can't remove it once you add it. And since I'm not using actual garlic salt, I'm going to add a little bit of more just regular salt and some oregano. It looks a little bland. Sorry, I'm trying to go fast. Alright, so this is what my pizza sauce looks like when it's all said and done. Again, you can, to each their own, season it how you like it. Use whatever you want. You can go buy the Italian seasoning, makes things easier. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put this on my dough and get everything else ready, and I will come back and show you what's next. All right, so I put the pizza sauce on. I got the cheese. I do grate our own cheese. I found this little nifty thing on Amazon. It's actually a vegetable grater. There's tons of different things. Amazon it, super easy. So let me get this back in the. So now I'm going to put the pepperonis on. I use the Applegate Natural brand. These at our Whole Foods, they only sell the large circle ones. So I do one of those, and then I do an Applegate turkey sausage. I prefer the turkey sausage because higher in protein, lower on fat, and I sometimes track macros and I work out, all that fun stuff. So it just fits my needs better. So I do, like I said, all of my own cheese. It is healthier. In already shredded cheese, they add a ingredient, I think it's called like cellulose. Again, not getting into that. If you want to know more, you can put in the comments. We can have that conversation. Or again, you can Google it. It's everywhere. But yeah, that's why I grade all of my own cheeses. So I should have had all this open. So as you can see, my husband prefers the smaller pepperoni. This is the large one compared to like a normal pepperoni. My husband thinks that the smaller ones get crispier, which he loves. But again, our store don't have it, so you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. For those kids that are in school, probably heard that, or parents. So I am just putting my toppings on. We have also done a pepperoni and mushroom one. I don't like mushrooms. Aaron does. And then we've also come to really like, so as you know, we raise our own chicken. So we use our homegrown chicken on a chicken bacon ranch pizza, and I will do a homemade ranch, which is really good. Sorry, I'm washing my hands. And it's really good. It's really heavy, just because it's so much protein. Like you have the bacon and the chicken and all that fun stuff. But it's really good. So I'll have to do a video next time we do that. So we are just about ready to go in the oven. I always trim my parchment paper to match my pans because I put 2 pans in the oven, and I'm just weird and I don't like things to overlap. So let me see if I can show you. So what I do is I put 1 on top, 1 on bottom, and then halfway through I will rotate them so one side doesn't get whatever it's called, extra well done or whatever, or burnt. I'm hoping one day to have a pizza oven, but the one I want is like a lot of money. So yeah. So I'm just sliding this next pizza on the preheated stone. And then I'm going to trim these edges. And if you're freaking out why I have a hot stone on my countertop, for those that have granite, I think, or quartz, I don't know what this is, you'll know that you can put heat on it. The other. So, show you here in just a minute how I set up the oven. So I have 1 on top, 1 on bottom. I usually set a timer for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. This recipe I cook at 475. And then when the timer goes off, I will switch them and then cook it another 10 to 15 minutes. This oven, sometimes it takes longer, sometimes not. So I will show you the next steps as it comes along. And I do want to mention, if you go to our website, these shirts make, I almost said the wrong thing. Make farming great again. They are available. We ship. They're $20 a piece. We also have a Ripple Run Farms logo t-shirt. Again, $20. We would love all the support. An advertisement on this one. It just says our name on the back and our location of Circleville, Ohio. So yeah, I will be back as the next step comes along. All right, so the timer just went off to switch. So that's what I'm doing now. And I'll show you what they look like for halfway through. So here's what they look like halfway through. So you can see it's starting to get done. The dough is still squishy. We like it to be crunchy. Aaron prefers really well done pizza. So I'm just gonna do like 10 minutes this second round and then see where we're at from there. And again, leaving the fridge open. So yeah. And also, as I was putting my leftover sauce in a container, I've kept it in the fridge literally for like a month, maybe longer. And it's still just as good. As long as you have it in the refrigerator, airtight, lasts forever. But as soon as the pizza is done, I will show you guys that. And yeah, and then we'll keep moving on with our day. All right, so oven just went off, just got the pizzas out. They look phenomenal. Let me see if I can There's one. These ones here are the turkey sausage. Here's the other one. This half is just cheese for our oldest. He only likes that. So I am starting to plate up our kids' food. Our youngest, he is right here. He is autistic and he only eats a few foods. He's in therapy for it and all that, but I try my best to find the most organic, clean products for his safe foods that he does like. Our oldest loves pizza and fruit, so starting to get those plated up. I use this thing here, found on Amazon, to cut the pizza. Makes it easy, rock it back and forth versus a regular handheld. I will say, even with this, I still hate cutting pizza. Not my cup of tea. But it's probably the worst part about doing homemade pizza, is cutting the pizza. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it, plate mine and Aaron's, put one in the freezer to cool faster for our oldest, and I will show you everything after we get it all plated. Alright, so I got the pizza cut. Everything's plated. Our favorite ways to enjoy it, Aaron likes to use Ripple Run Farms pickled jalapenos. These were actually just hand-picked yesterday and jarred. He usually lets the broth or brine, I don't know what he calls it, sit on the stove for about 12 or 13 hours. And then he hand slices all of the peppers. I just like good old sour cream. I know a lot of people think that's weird. I know ranch is a huge thing. I've done that. But I don't always have homemade ranch. And I don't buy ranch from the store. So yeah. So our son's is still in the freezer trying to cool. So we are getting ready to enjoy our Saturday night family dinner. And then we will clean up and all go outside and help Aaron with the projects he is doing out there. So stay tuned.